I am on actually day 2 of retreat. I did some writing this morning. I got a scene written in my notebook. Yesterday was 100% a relax and rest and catch up with my friends kind of day. I did not have the best travel weekend. I was on one of the 2,000 plus Southwest flights that got canceled. They canceled my flight after we boarded, and then we had to unboard, and then the airport was complete chaos with everyone, lines just stretching on forever. And I realized after a couple minutes, like, if I just wait here to see what happens next, I'm definitely not going to make it to this retreat because there are just no flights. This was Saturday, and they were canceling flights like all through Monday. So I managed to find a miraculously cheap flight to New York on another airline. Of course, it was not at the airport I was at. It was at the other airport on the other side of Dallas. But I got in a cab, hauled it, didn't hit any traffic, didn't have any problems at security, and managed to get on that flight. So I made it here. And then Sunday we drove from New York to Pennsylvania, which is where we currently are, in a house in the woods. And it was a rainy, kind of poor visibility drive, and I was driving the rental car. And so that was like, I don't know, mildly stressful and took longer than it should have. But so yesterday was just a completely relax and talk with my friends kind of day. I talked out with a few of my friends a lot of stuff about this book that I've been working on. I also talked out just a lot of feelings about the whole career change and everything that's been going on, and that was just very cathartic. And I'm really glad that happened because this morning I woke up to an email from my agent with the official, paperwork to terminate our relationship attached, which is completely fine because I feel fine about it. It's not like it was a surprise or anything. I'm kind of glad I was here when I got that. And and I read it and I was like, okay, great. So that's that. And I got out my notebook and refreshed my memory over what I've done so far on that book, and came up with, I think I mentioned in an earlier vlog that my main character is involved was involved in a particular kind of organization, and I was trying to brainstorm a good name for it, and I finally came up with something really good. It made me really laugh. And then I wrote a scene in my book this morning, and then I made two giant pots of soup last night, and I've been enjoying being in the kitchen. I'm in charge of food on this trip because I love cooking, and it's very fun to cook for 7 people, and I had some leftover soup for lunch today, and yeah, it's just been quiet and peaceful and exactly what I needed.
Alright, do it. You can do it. I believe in you. There was an attempt. Oh! Hey! No, I didn't see it. Something went in right there. I didn't see it. But look, there's a ball in there.
It was intentional, I swear. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it is Thursday morning. I'm about to pack up. We're gonna check out and drive back to New York in a couple of hours. I have done a really terrible job of vlogging during this retreat, but I have done a very good job of retreating. It's just been the best couple of days. I did get a lot of writing done. I worked on my book and my notebook. I think I ended up adding about 6 scenes and, did some walking in the woods and talking things out in my book with friends who, that's just always helpful. I feel like this story is a little bit more developed in my head now. I talked out some backstory, thought about some stuff that wasn't working, thought about ways to make it work. Always fun. I also drank way too much coffee. Played a lot of pool. There's a pool table in this house. The basement is almost like a bar/game room. There's air hockey and foosball, and it's just, and a poker table. We played Cards Against Humanity. It's just, it's a great house. This is a really good house. I also started talking to one friend who I hadn't seen in a while. It's been 2 years. I mean, you know, we keep in touch, but I haven't seen her in so long. We have I don't want to like get too into the details of this in case anything does come of it, but we met when we were adults, but we discovered that we have a connection in our childhood, like a specific thing we were both a part of, and we have talked for years about co-authoring a novel kind of based around that experience. And we revisited that after dinner the other night, cleaning up in the kitchen, and we just started talking about it. And originally when we talked about it, it was a young adult novel, but my friend is also kind of shifting gears out of kidlit and into adult. I think, side note, I think this is a thing that is happening a lot, it seems. Like, I'm talking to a lot of kidlit authors in secret who are like, yeah, I'm trying adult now. It's interesting. It's a phenomenon, I think. Maybe, like, under the radar phenomenon. Maybe something to talk about later. Anyway, we started talking about, well, what if could we take this concept and make it adult? And it's funny, I think, and that led to a conversation about how it's different writing an adult novel versus writing for a young adult or middle grade audience. And I mean, I guess I don't like saying this, but I think it is true that there are certain restrictions put on you by gatekeepers with what not just what you can include in your book, but how you talk about it. More true in middle grade than young adult, but also to an extent very true in young adult. And feeling completely unrestricted with adult is interesting. It's like everything's expanded a little bit. It helps. Ooh, that sun is not in a good spot. Let's move. Okay, that's a little bit better. So, what the heck was I talking about? Oh, we just felt like when we took that idea but we're like, except let's make it adult, all the possibilities expanded a little bit, and there were things we could dig into a little bit more. And we ended up getting really kind of excited about it, and like not plotting it out, but understanding what the conflict would be. And for me, understanding what the themes would be, and like there are specific things that I would like to say, like specific ideas I would like to get my claws into and work out some of my issues. I really wish I could talk more about what this idea is. I know, I'm sorry, it sounds so cryptic. But yeah, we got very excited about it, and we're gonna have a Google Doc going, I think, where we can just brainstorm this at our leisure whenever we feel like working on it, a no pressure kind of thing. So I'm very excited about that, because something that I have been wanting to do since my whole I think I need to put Kidlit aside for a while thing over this summer is I've been wanting to co-author again, because all of the co-authoring experiences I've had with my friends, when we find the right idea, it's like complete 100% pure pleasure. Like it's like writing a book with no struggle. It's just kind of a magical thing. I think I talked about this in that last Q&A, but when you want to co-author a book with a friend, the most important thing is that you're not just like, oh, let's write a book together because it would be fun. It has to be the right idea. And with each friend that I've written a book with, it's because the idea was the exact right melding of our interests and our strengths. And I think that's what this would be with this particular friend. Like, I know it would be. So anyway, that was really fun, and I'm excited about the possibility of having that to play with in the future. Anyway, I've got a little more to do, some packing to do before we take off, and, you know, cleaning up and all that stuff. Probably eating breakfast also would be not a bad thing. I'm getting one more night in New York, though. I'm staying with a friend in Brooklyn tonight, and I'm seeing another friend's new apartment, so I'm excited about that. And then, fingers crossed, I'm flying back to Dallas tomorrow on Southwest. Are they still canceling flights? I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about it. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know how your week was, and I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye.